had Maxine Waters say that the Tea Party members should all go to hell. Well, I will tell you where hell is. Hell is in the black communities that the Congressional Black Caucus serves.
Hold on just a second. What did you just say?
I said these policies are racist.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joining us is the author of The Big Black Lie, How I Learned the Truth About the Democratic Party. Kevin Jackson, first of all, were you there on Saturday at the Capitol when Congressman Lewis and other members of the Congressional Black Caucus were bad upon? Were you there for that?
A lot of what they were saying had happened actually hadn't occurred. Been to many Tea Parties around the country, and I've yet to see any real violence towards anybody.
Far left's making a big deal out of the Tea Party movement being almost all white, implying it's a racist situation. Joining us now from St. Louis, Kevin Jackson.
I call it Emancipation 2. This time, everybody gets free.
With us now, reaction from Tea Party activist Kevin Jackson. Kevin, what'd you make of that?
Wow, I think he managed to sum up the Democrat and elitist position very succinctly by saying that black people are stupid and white people are racist. The thing that gets me most, Neil, is that the ease in which he makes these comments. Guess what? When blacks like myself, conservative blacks, go off the plantation, and what they do is they do what they did to Ken Gladney in St. Louis. They give you a beat down. And if they can't do it physically, they're going to do it verbally. Yeah, it's complete subterfuge. But the fact of the matter is, Carson made an incendiary comment that has no place in American politics and in the lexicon of today.
The Democratic operatives were destroying their own property so that somehow people would just, I don't know, just choose to blame them on Republicans. You really believe that?
Yeah, it's kind of like when there are riots in Watts and black people go and loot their own stores and you wonder why did it happen? It's the same reason. So when you can tell me with complete evidence that the people that are doing this are Republicans, and I'll be happy to answer your question. But until then, all you've got is anecdotal evidence.
Analysis is illogical.
The same way that you have anecdotal evidence around the Tea Party groups and saying that everybody's a racist, when I'm an example of a person who's been to these events, not one single racial incident can I point at.
There's a racist fringe to this, and that I wish Republican leaders and Tea Party
supporters like yourself. Well, there's a racist fringe to the Democrat Party because, as I said, I've yet to see a black man lynched at a Tea Party. But I do know that the Democrat Party has lynched black people. So if you want to make that equivalency, then let's talk about that for a bit.
Kevin Jackson. Kevin, you know I disagree with you on a lot of stuff, but I do appreciate you coming on today.
My pleasure.
What's up, Tea Party people? I'm happier than a hippie that made it through customs to be here. And y'all are prettier than a mess of fried catfish. There's a scene in Gladiator where they say to Maximus, before they can kill you, they have to kill your name. They want to kill the Tea Party name, but before I get started, I want you guys to give yourselves a hand for the butt kicking that we gave them back in November. How about that? We kicked the crap out of some ignorant liberals, boy. What's that saying? Duct tape can't fix stupid, but it can sure muffle the sound. Racist. The left wants us gone, folks, but we're hanging in there like a hair on a biscuit. Like cat hair on a black wool jacket. Oops, I mean African-American wool jacket. Tea Party's alive, folks. And I give the left this warning: careful is the naked man who climbs the barbed wire fence. In other words, we're not going away. The left powered right through this election cycle, this blowout. They did what I call act as if. They just acted as if it didn't happen. And I watched this boxing world champion. I forget his name. I think it was Lacey. Big, buff, black dude. He was fighting this little mousy-looking white dude named Calzaghe. I'll never forget this fight. And Calzaghe just beat the crap out of him, and nobody expected it. I mean, he was beat up so bad. The black dude, his lips were swollen bigger than Angelina's or Jolie's or Rosie O'Donnell's or Michelle Obama's, take your pick. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, in a post-fight interview, this is what he had to say: at least he didn't knock me out. Wow. Leftism has become America's greatest export in the era of nothingness, the era of talk. Leftism has gone international. Islamic terrorists killing Christians all over the Middle East, but they screwed up and they killed French journalists. And the most shocking thing to me is that liberals didn't try to blame the Tea Party for the attack on Charlie Hebdo. So the left is in a quandary now, folks, because this thing exposed Barack Obama, and their quandary is like, I don't know. They see Obama for what he really is, and I think of it as like maybe an 80-year-old woman having a belly button ring. Or it's like when I found out that Barry Manilow didn't write the song, I write the songs. Apparently, when it comes to Islamic terrorists, Obama's mouth gets drier than Gandhi's flip-flops. Liberals practice better living through denial. For liberals, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a cash advance. So here are just a few of the stupid memes that we've had to deal with. Liberals will say, we don't want to bring a child into this crazy world, but they want to bring illegal aliens over here in droves. And they tell us illegals will be good for the economy. Yeah. And then they tell us voter ID is racist, and sure, pedophiles make good babysitters. So recently in California, when illegals were allowed to get their driver's licenses, they had to show valid ID. That's right, Einstein, valid ID. And if that's not bad enough, I hail from the land of the second civil rights movement, which is St. Louis. We're told, hands up, don't shoot. We're told every 28 hours a cop shoots a black person, and I argued against Mark Lamont Hill on CNN that he was lying about that meme. And he said, because I said every 28 hours a cop shoots an unarmed black person, and he argued with me on Twitter that he didn't say unarmed. Think about that. He's saying every 28 hours a cop shoots an armed black person, AKA a criminal. I'm just giving you some ideas of the lunacy you deal with. Every 4 hours, a black person kills another black person, and all the liberal race pimps completely ignore this, and they demand that you not bring it up. Black students were given time off at Columbia because of the tragedy that had occurred in the black community when a thug who robbed a store got himself killed, and they said, hey, I don't know what you guys are going to do. I mean, that would be like you guys getting time off because they executed Bundy. When I think of dealing with liberals, I'm reminded of something one of my henpecked buddies says. He says, sometimes I wake up grumpy, the other times I let her sleep. We are constantly being told life is unfair. Oh, let me tell you what's unfair. When a president who went to Columbia and Harvard, whose daughters are guaranteed Harvard or Ivy League educations, wants to give regular Americans free community college, right? And first of all, it ain't free. We pay for it. And let's look at what we get for our money. The average college freshman reads at a 7th grade level. And in typical liberal fashion, Obama wants to give away more of that stellar stupidity. He just needs more money. We do all this liberal nonsense in the name of multiculturalism, and I want to ask you guys a question. Can you imagine as a black kid growing up, and the first thing that you get told is, hey, listen, from the moment you're born, you're less. There are people that have lighter skin color who are better than you. I mean, would you ever in your life tell your children that no matter what color? If I was purple, I would be telling my kid how great purple is. Go, Prince. I say white privilege begins with 2 parents. How about that? There was a time, folks, when being American meant something. It didn't matter where one was from. To be American was the greatest thing in the world. I have traveled this country. I was with one of my friends from Africa, and he said to me, if you guys open the borders, Africa will get sucked dry. And he's not kidding. I remember when one of my African friends first came to the United States, we put him up in a hotel. He was in New York, and he called me up about 2 hours later. He says, Kevin, the water. I said, what? He goes, it's clear. And I said, what you think? I mean, I'm just telling you how we take it for granted. I'm like, what did you think? He goes, it's been on for 2 hours. He's just letting it run. He was sure it was going to turn to mud at some point. Oh, man. For that reason, folks, America's been the envy of the world. Arabs can build their golden cities, but nobody longs to be from the United Arab Emirates or Dubai or any other of those places. And the same is true for all other countries. Britain is a great place. I've been there myself quite a few times. France is a great place to visit. I wouldn't want to live there long term. These countries have tried multiculturalism. It's a failure because they've lost their identities. It's one thing to invite a culture to come over and bring the best that it has to offer and then assimilate, and it's another altogether to allow that country or that culture to dominate your existing culture until it's no longer recognizable. Muslims have disregarded the laws of the countries who've accepted them. They terrorize the citizens with the permission of the politically correct live and let live tolerant socialist. And these people, these Muslims, have left their Allah-forsaken lands where they live in squalor, and they're given an amazing opportunity where they quickly squander it in order to build another Allah-forsaken land. So let me wrap things up. I say to liberals the words to an old country song. I would have wrote you a letter, but I couldn't spell yuck. What is the government in the most diverse country in the world? Why do we care about ethnicity? Why do you check that box? I never check that box. I write in American, period. But why do they want that? America offers everybody the one thing uniquely, in the same amount, opportunity. It doesn't care how black you are, it doesn't care what religion you are, just cares that you embrace the American spirit. That's our culture. And despite decades of liberalism, running around like little ghetto children, we have those suckers sweating like Michael Moore on a treadmill. They got nothing. I mean, they want Hillary Clinton to be president. Have you considered, they don't even think it through. Bill Clinton would be first lady. He would be decorating the White House, and I got two words for you: stripper pole. Elizabeth Warren. She's viable. She's a fraud. Yeah, she's as much Indian as you, and you're Italian. You straight up Italian. They fear us, folks, but we got work to do. They say that we bit off more than we could chew as a Tea Party, but they don't know how big our mouths are. So I want to connect with all of you guys, get my card downstairs, and join us. I did a promo for the Tea Party Patriots. I think it's called the Money Bomb. So give to that. We started a thing called Tea Party Charities, and the first thing we did was start this thing called the Tea Party Scholarship Fund, which is a scholarship to any American that believes in our principles, and not to go to Harvard, but to go learn how to fix a lawnmower or something practical, or belly dancing if you want. Yeah. But here's the deal. The reason why I did that, because I forget who it is, but when that scholarship fund is giving away less than $10,000, we will have given away more money than Joe Biden, John Kerry, Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a scholarship fund that has raised $67 million, and he's given away $6,000. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you do with that kind of, how do you hide that? I don't even know how to go from there. So they steal this money. Nancy Pelosi, when we give away just over $100,000, we will have given away more money than Nancy Pelosi, who in the worst economic period in America's history, 2008, 2009, 2010, she was worth $12 million, $25 million, then $35.1 million when we were all suffering. And she gave away less than $100,000. So it's not going to be, it's going to be easy to embarrass these people. So we have an opportunity to make the left eat the name of the Tea Party. Last one, the Congressional Black Caucus from 2004 to 2008 collected $55 million for black kids to go to college. Anybody want to guess how much they gave away? Less than $1 million. When the Tea Party gives away $1 million, you will have given away more than those race pimps in their entire lives. By the way, my book is called Race Pimping. So anyway, listen, guys, I've had a great time with you. Thanks for inviting me here, and God bless America.